When you get done cutting all of your pieces out, you're going to need to make sure that you go ahead and you line them up and get them kind of sorted by pieces. Once again, you're going to need your ruler, potentially, and your square for this step, and either a pen or a pencil. Your arm is all by itself. We will mark this for drilling holes, but we'll do that in a different video. We're going to line up our two C's together, our two D's together, our two E's, our two B's, and our two A's. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to make sure the ends are flush. So you can kind of stand that up. If you did a good job cutting, they might be completely even. If they are, there's nothing you need to do with them. If you don't have them even, I'm going to explain what you're going to do with that in a moment. You will have a roll of masking tape once again. My class, you get the one that belongs to your station. Your instructor will point that out. But you're going to tear off a piece, and you're going to tape those two A's together, making sure the bottom is flush and that they're nice and tight. You're going to do the same thing on the other end. So I wrap it around, making sure it's nice and tight. Now, if there is a difference in height, what you will do is you will take your square, you're going to flush it right up against the edge. You're going to go to the shorter one and you're going to draw a line straight across. Now on mine, I've actually cut them pretty close to even, and I still have my line on, so I'm going to use that to sand them down and flush. I then will repeat the same steps for my letter B. Once again, line them up. Take a piece of tape, make sure the bottom is flush. Wrap it around your piece. Do the same on the other end. Make sure they're nice and tight together. You can always have your partner help you hold them while you tape them. But you're going to make sure the one end is flush. You're then going to go, and you can see there's a little height discrepancy between these two. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to put my square flush against the edge, and I'm going to draw a line straight across that I will then sand down to. But that line should be very close to the edge. If for some reason you'd have a really messed up cut, you'll check that with your instructor. But you're going to repeat that process. Once again for the C's, I'm going to flush one edge up. I'm going to take some tape. I'm going to wrap it around nice and tight. Once again, double check that you're still flush. Go to the other side. Wrap it up nice and tight. So there shouldn't be any kind of wiggle room in there. I then would go ahead and see which one is shorter. Make sure my line is drawn straight across. So it's right up there next to the edge, but I have one line that I will sand down to. So I got A ready to go, B ready to go, C ready to go. I'm going to do the same thing with my D's. I line them up, flush to the edge, take some tape, wrap it around towards the end, making sure I'm pulling it tight. Do the same on the other side. I once again would go ahead to the shortest one, flush up my square, take my pencil, draw it straight across, even with the bottom edge, so I got a nice line that I'm going to sand down to. I then would do the same for part E, lining up my cuts, flushing my edge on the one end, taking some tape, wrapping it nice and tight around one side. Make sure I'm still flush. If for some reason you want it, you just simply lift up the tape, retape it. Once again, pull that tight, wrapping that tape around. I then would go ahead, remark my line with the shortest one, drawing my line straight across. You must have a line to sand down to. Once you've done that, for all the pieces that are doubles, you will go ahead and watch the next video, which is how to sand them.